welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of.
Because you don't know football. You also don't know how to caress the knees.
Yeah, you guys just missed. I just caressed my man Tim's knee.
Getting a little strange here on Friday.
He also said it was all right, though. All right. So let's get back to it, Tim.
Football. I mean, 34 days
I saw
until
it.
opening day,
I
but there
saw
was
contact.
football. It was okay football, but it was football.
It was pretty. It was quite mediocre football.
So we had the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Las Vegas Raiders.
I almost called them
Raiders. I know I had to get there too. It's gonna be a while, right?
But
What'd you think of it? How was
Well, let me start by saying the head coach. What's his name of
McDaniels?
Josh McDaniels.
The
I was
era
gonna say
begins.
it begins, but I hope all bad things happen to him. Just to let you know, he's part of that Patriots nonsense, and I hope all bad things happen to him. So, but they look good. They look good. They look good. I'm not mad.
Yeah,
about
I mean for Hall of Fame game where you're not playing many individuals. While the Raiders did play Josh Jacobs a little bit more than I thought.
Yeah,
11 snaps and gave him the ball I think 7 times. So that's interesting for a little preseason Hall of
That's
Fame
right.
game.
Wear him down. I like Josh Jacobs. So
I
it's
do
a shame.
too.
Shame they gotta have that coach.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see. McDaniel's been kind of in the shadows of Mr. Bill Belichick.
Yeah, I mean,
The sweatshirt, the hoodie for some time.
Last time he was cheating too. When he got to be a head coach last time, he was cheating too. So, we'll see what he does this time around.
It did just dawn on me. I don't know why it took this long to click, but he did the Colts dirty.
It just hit you, huh?
I don't know
why. It
why.
just hit you, huh?
It hit me. I mean, I knew where you were going with that, and then it just hit me on why.
He's just not a good person to me. He's just not a good person to me.
But we'll see. I mean, look, I think the Raiders have been I don't say on the cusp, but they've been putting together a good team for some time, and it looks like they're, maybe have a chance to improve again this year.
Listen, if they can improve upon what Derek Carr did last year, I think that was a great year. I don't know. A lot of times people just have great years and it's hard to replicate that. But man, he had a great year last year. So let's see what they can do with that. But now that it's back, we got some things to talk about. Earlier, a couple episodes ago, we talked about who had the best off seasons, whose off seasons were real good. What I want to know now is who shit the bed.
Well, I think to start off, the Indianapolis Colts. Man. You know where I'm going with this.
Why did we shit the bed?
One, you're the Colts, but two, you got rid of the man, Carson Wentz.
Oh yeah,
you let him go.
You
gave up that contract. What are you doing? You guys could have had him and Frank Reich. I know they tried it for a year, but it should have been year number 2 is when they did that. I think you were AFC Championship.
I think that was enough. I think that was enough.
No, you're not buying it?
I think that was enough. I think I saw all that I needed to see. As I said, I had a lot of arguments about Carson Wentz being there, and I was wrong. So, I think we've seen enough. But
done with that, yeah. So with that, just segue into that's why I brought him up first, because seriously, the Carson Wentz move might have actually been the best thing for the Colts. Probably was one of the best moves on their end, which inversely makes it the Commanders being up there with the worst move.
Worst
at least
move.
on my board in general. Okay, look, Carson Wentz I was listening to something earlier today about it, and they're talking about how he was really, before he blew his knee out, was on an MVP run. And I know we keep going back to that, but it's been a few years. And it's just it's not there. I mean, I hope the guy does well, ends up having a career. But to take on, getting Carson Wentz is one thing. But to take on $28 million in a cap hit, it's brutal. So that's aggressive. They had what? I mean, Garoppolo was out there, right? I mean, say what you want about Baker, but he was out there at the time. There's moves that you could have made, Mariota, and you went with Carson Wentz. So,
it's just not a really good quarterback market out there. But for me, that wasn't the worst move. Believe it or not.
I know, surprising. I was surprised when you told me this earlier. Not that it's not a terrible move, but
it's definitely down there. But No, the move that I think was the worst move was the Jacksonville Jaguars signing Christian Kirk. Not the fact that they did sign him, but he got a 4-year, $72 million deal that's worth up to $84 million, and $37 million of it is guaranteed. Now, Christian Kirk has never been anything more than a number 3 wide receiver.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of like underneath stuff too.
See the face there?
Yeah.
So I don't know where all this is going, but I think this is a place where we're getting old a little bit. I feel as though we've seen this where wide receivers reset the market.
He reset the market.
But like wide receivers reset the market because they think they're so valuable, and then it doesn't work out, and people start to figure out, wide receivers are not as needed as you think. Like usually, like when you talk about top 5 wide receivers and winning Super Bowls, that usually doesn't correlate like that. So so all I'm saying is if you have the talent and the money there, that doesn't. So I don't think this matches the talent. I don't think the talent matches the money. So I just don't think this is going to work out that well for them.
I know, you're talking about resetting the market too. I was just trying to see here. There was a few. You got Davante Adams that left, but I was trying to figure out what his contract was, and I think he went after Christian Kirk. But I do know AJ Brown went to the Eagles, right? And $100 million contract. Like not only
that's a lot. Like I don't think it's you should pay him that much.
Here it is, Davante Adams, $141 million over 5 years, right? Like Christian Kirk goes and gets 72 up to 84, which is good for him. Get your money, take that bag, take it home. But everyone else in that marketplace is just like, okay, great, pony up, like pony up to these
But
teams.
it's like, dude, you know how much like the percentage of the cap that you're putting at that position
it's a ton.
That is reliant on everybody for the line to block, for the quarterback to be good, you know what I mean. All of these things is so much that like it's they're reliant on, and it's just like it's not gonna.
Well, we've seen it time and time again where teams go on Super Bowl runs with a lot of great younger players within their rookie contract deals. And then once they pass that 5-year or that 4-year deal and they have to be re-signed and they're signing these massive deals, there's not enough to go around and the team just disintegrates. Right. It's just you can't keep the big names. You can't keep the guys at defensive end, the left tackles, your star wide receivers. So you see it happen all the time when one person gets a huge contract, and especially like again, Christian Kirk is a viable player, but is he $72 million over 4 years?
No, he's not. He's not.
That's where you got to weigh it.
I like the Eagles having AJ Brown, but for that much money, I think you just paid your way out of a Super Bowl. That's how I feel about it.
Sounds good to me.
You know what I mean?
I hope they lose 2 games to the Cowboys.
Don't worry, CD Lamb's coming. CD Lamb's coming.
That is where I need to go. I was going to say, that is where I need to go next. Yeah, we have CD Lamb, but I mean, the Cowboys in general's offseason.
All right.
Draft wasn't horrendous.
So I got a question.
Oh no, I don't want to hear it.
Did Dallas have the worst offseason?
No. Not the worst. I mean, as a Cowboys fan, it's depressing at all times.
Fan is short for fanatic.
I'm the worst football fan ever. We'll go through this season together, but each time we have one of these interviews or these conversations, you're gonna have to ask me the total number of minutes of a Cowboys game I watched that week, and I will guarantee you on average it'll be less than half the game.
Yeah, I don't know how you're gonna. And Dak just came out and said that this was gonna be his golden year, I don't know what that means.
I mean, look, Dak got paid, rightfully so. He has been a monster on offense, but again, there's just that team. To me, we've talked about this. Seems poised to make a run, except for there's still Mike McCarthy and Jerry Jones, and I just don't see it happening until that changes. But as far as the worst offseason, no, I think the Cowboys just, again, I feel like they botched some things, right? Like Amari Cooper was kind of just like they were going to release Amari Cooper, literally just release him.
Yeah,
but I
was one that was hoping.
Yeah, they. Oh my God, they release him now. So they got something back, but it was nothing that I mean. Amari Cooper hasn't had like any real break. He's been their number one though.
Like, the only thing that you did gain though, you get the contract off too. Though.
That's where I was going with that, right? Like they paid Zeke, they paid Dak, and we just talked about contracts like hindering other positions. Here we go. Now you're looking at re-signing Michael Gallup, who again serviceable, great. He's definitely, but he's your number two, and CeeDee Lamb's going to
be
your number one this year. But again, rookie contract. Like to see where we're at. Like that's where you're.
Listen, you definitely shed some money, so we'll see. So that kind of gets us into our next segment then. So who did have the worst offseason, in your opinion?
Yeah.
In your humble opinion.
I think where I go with the worst offseason and more is because they just didn't do anything that was like that I felt was spectacular was the Patriots. And maybe it's because we just ask a lot of them.
How the mighty have fallen.
All the time, right? But I think here we're looking at you lost your offensive coordinator, Josh McDaniels, which we knew was happening. You have Mac Jones, which I think's going to be good, but like I don't know that they necessarily elevated the offense around him. I mean, he's going to be good. Like he was pretty good last year. It's your rookie or year two last year. I'm already forgetting these things. As a young quarterback, but it didn't seem like they really did much to enhance that team. So I mean, maybe they didn't sign the worst contract ever, or take on the Carson Wentz contract, or take on that Christian Kirk contract. But just in general, I just don't know that they necessarily did anything to make themselves better. Their draft was probably, pretty terrible. I mean, I'm looking here. They drafted a guy out of Chattanooga to fill a guard spot. Like that was their number one.
That was like championship. Championship.
That was it. It's just like I don't know. I mean, look, the Patriots have never been splashy in that front. Maybe they clearly know more than we know, but that's where
the whole franchise is in the hands of a guard from Chattanooga.
I'm an offensive line guy too, but I didn't even know they could draft from Chattanooga. Man, who would have known? So, how about yourself? Or what do you any feedback or thoughts on the Patriots in general?
I definitely feel as though they're definitely trending down, and I'm gonna be real. I think this is the first time legitimately the point can be made that's no better than the third best team in that division now.
Yeah.
No, I mean with what the Dolphins have done and with the Bills.
They got the Bills, right?
You know what I mean? And
Bills are definitely the front runner there.
So I think the Patriots so hold on. Are we saying the Patriots are not going to make the playoffs this year?
I forget what I said on camera last time, but I'm thinking.
I think you know what if you're not going to say it, I'm going to say it because I'm bold. I'm bold.
They're going to win the division. Is that what you're going to say?
I'm saying the New England Patriots aren't even going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Out of the playoffs. Out.
That's wild. It's been a long run for them.
For me not to like them as much as I do not like them. It's probably the most impressive thing we've probably ever seen, and anybody's ever seen.
Sure.
What they've done, how it happened,
For so long. What did it start in 2001?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So the question when Brady left was, who was it, Brady or was it Belichick? Oh. Do we have an answer, or is it really unfair? And
I think logically I think it's unfair to make Belichick is working with a whole 53 people on a roster trying to put them together and make it work. They lost, yes, with Brady there. They still had stars come through that team at times. And they had an offense that worked around Brady, right? He was able to, be at the helm and make that work.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really sexy to say, especially that man going to Tampa Bay and dominating the way that he did, at least, over his first 2 years, right? Like winning one of these, having a chance at it again, it's, pretty freaking impressive. I'm still mad he retired and come out of retirement, but they were stacked as well too.
I'm gonna move on closer to the microphone when I say what I'm about to say. that dynasty is wrapped around Tom Brady.
Yeah, you're saying it's all him, the whole thing him?
I'm saying when you look at Belichick when he was with Cleveland and the lack of success there, what happened before Brady came in, you don't know if they're going to win the Super. You don't know if they're going to win the Super Bowl with
Drew Bledsoe.
With Drew Bledsoe, and I even said when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, the best thing that happened was that Carson Wentz got hurt because you had to prepare for Nick Foles now.
Yeah.
And it's not the same thing.
For sure.
So what happened before Brady, what happened even that season, when you look at the success that happened, Brady leaves and all of a sudden, like even their team is as talented as it ever was, and it's not a Super Bowl contender. Yeah. And I'm saying
it was great. You know, the one thing I don't think you can account for, and maybe you can actually account for it, is we've seen it on like all these shows Tom Brady's been doing of himself, like these Facebook things, like his work ethic is bar none. Nobody is doing that. I mean, even when he went to the Bucs, you know, and he's in Tampa Bay, he is, you know, rallying these wide receivers, rallying this offense on his own time to just throw passes and run routes and to just get together. Like, while other professional quarterbacks and professionals are doing that, I bet if you just looked at them not in a vacuum, and looked at them all together, he's just going to, his work ethic is just better.
Yeah, his film study is just...
Yeah. Oh. All right, so I told you about my worst off season. It's more of just really mediocre and didn't do a lot of shit at all. But how about yours? Who do you go with?
See, mine is a little less sexy, a little less controversial, and I kind of like being.
So you're gonna say the Colts were the worst?
Just because I didn't want controversy doesn't mean I didn't like intelligence. No, my team that I think had the worst off season was the Chicago Bears.
They're just not great. But
like I think
they lost what their
I think
wide receivers.
They lost the number one wide receiver. They lost their best defensive player. Khalil Mack is gone. They're changing head coaches. They got a second year. Now this is a second year quarterback with his second system that he has to learn.
Yeah.
That usually isn't hard.
That's
usually very hard, should I say? So they hired Matt Eberflus. So if no one knows who Matt Eberflus is, which I don't think you would,
I'd look him up.
He was the Colts defensive coordinator last year.
Oh, so you're very familiar with him.
I'm very familiar with him.
Probably rubbed his knee up there too.
Now it was time for him to go. Now that wasn't the knee. I might rub him on. Now Tony Dungy on the other hand. Tony, if you're watching this, I'll rub on Tony's knee. I will rub on Tony's knee.
This got weird. Back on track.
So he was the defensive coordinator for the Colts. It was time for him to go. So for that, like, it's not like we had a very good defense. He did a good job. But we saw the limitations, we saw the writing on the wall, and he's I don't know how he runs a team.
Yeah.
I don't know how that'll be. But I think now they could have the worst roster in the NFL.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Let's take a look at it.
That's why. So wherever they were, it went from wherever they were to about like maybe the worst. Yeah. Like the Detroit Lions are a better team.
I mean, seriously, this is just me being terrible at remembering people's names as well, but outside of Justin Fields, like, I have no idea who's on that roster in Chicago. Let's take a look at it.
I remember the middle linebacker from Georgia. Cannot remember his name right now, but I know he's pretty good.
Well,
but I can't remember his name right now.
That's exactly where we're at. So, all right, so the Chicago Bears, your worst off season. Even with the Jaguars signing Christian Kirk, and they're not even having any money for Trey Lance in a couple of years.
That's just ridiculous.
Trevor Lawrence, Trey Lance is on San Francisco. I'm just making things up now.
You did just do like a real mock draft.
I was thinking about the long, flowy sunshine hair too. Trey Lance came out, so.
Not him, but
there we go.
But but still, no. I think their roster. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think the the guy Thibodeau that they drafted defensive end, I don't think he was the best player in this draft.
Yeah.
He was drafted number 1 by Jacksonville. I don't think their draft was great, but I also think when I look at their roster, I don't think they have like the worst roster.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. You know who I think is now in the hot water, right? Which their offseason did look good for some time, but Cleveland, man, with everything going on, might not have a quarterback. Well, won't for 6 games at a minimum. Might not for a season if the NFL gets their way.
Yeah, man. So,
I mean, who? I tried to look. I was looking this up earlier, and I forget where it went. Who is their actual quarterback going to be?
Hold on. Can I just say this? So we just talked about touching knees earlier. Showing maybe you should have stopped there.
Well, you were paying them to.
Maybe you should have just stopped
above the belt.
Because now we got to figure this out. Now we got to figure out the Cleveland Browns.
So they got Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby Brissett. He's going to be the quarterback.
Yeah. Not going to give it to Josh Rosen. You don't think he'll win the? No. Look, Jacoby Brissett's been serviceable and in these spots for a long time, but
he's gotten you to be an 8-8 team.
Sure.
So we'll see. I mean, right now it's 6 games. The NFL was not liking that, so it's probably going to be a little longer. But as of right now, it's 6 games, and Jacoby Brissett, as of today, basically has to figure out how to win 2 to 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a win on the Browns' schedule. I don't know what it is.
Win 2 to 3 games.
The Browns come out of it 3-3. 3-3.
Hey,
who do they have? Oh man.
Listen, you keep talking, and I'll look that up.
So, they look like they got an okay start of the season.
What's their
first 3 games? Panthers, Jets, Steelers, Falcons. Chargers are going to be real tough. And then the Patriots. And then
they could win 3 of those games. They could win 3 of those games.
Let's see how the rest of the team looks. But
they could win 3 of those games.
Yeah, I mean, none of those jump out. I mean, none of those teams jump out of me as like being able to be studs. I know the Jets had a reasonably good offseason, but we talked about this before. Like,
I think the Steelers roster is really good. It's just the quarterback is.
They signed Strubitsky, going to be it.
Big Mitch. but yeah, like I
think about that. You just gave the Bears the worst offseason, and they like kicked that man to the curb.
But that was like 2 years ago. Last year he sat down. He got to think about some things. Maybe Carson Wentz should do the same thing. But got to think. Maybe I shouldn't throw that pass.
Maybe I shouldn't throw that pass.
But
I heard that I thought I couldn't pay attention. Once he went to the Colts, like stopped paying attention to him at all. But supposedly he just doesn't. Wentz does not like to. Yeah, I don't pay attention to you guys much.
I get it.
But I also don't watch my own team.
I was fine with the snarky comment that you just made. I was fine with it. That's fine.
Oh man. All right. So we went a little off topic today, but I think that was good.
That's all good.
Nonsense. We'll see. We got 34 days. 34 days until the kickoff. Oh, check this out. I might be in Dallas for a game.
I thought it had to do with this.
No.
What game?
So it's up. So might have the opportunity. We don't know if it's going to happen or not, but I got to choose from different games to go to. The selections, the options were Cincinnati on my birthday on September 18th. Unfortunately, I could not put that on the list because I'm going to Florida.
See, I was legitimately sad.
Oh no, I was sad. I was about to call my mother and be like, I'm going to miss my birthday with you in Florida to be in Dallas to watch Joe Burrow play Dak. Like that would be cool, right?
That would be dope.
The other options though were some were not good. So let me just tell you the ones that were good. Well, let me tell you the not good ones. The Detroit Lions did not feel like seeing them.
Is that Thanksgiving?
No, they're playing the
Giants. That's usually Thanksgiving.
They're playing the Lions have their own home game on Thanksgiving. They don't play each other. They never play each other. The Cowboys and the Lions have their own home games on Thanksgiving.
There you go.
But yeah, Detroit Lions, Houston Texans, and then the 3 that I selected were all NFC games. So the Eagles on the 24th of December, So I'm hoping that's for like a conference championship or division championship at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants on Thanksgiving, and then the Commanders on some random day in October. I think October 2nd.
But that's gonna be in Dallas on Thanksgiving.
All three of them are in Dallas.
I was gonna say if it was in New York, we could have.
Oh no, no. Well, Dallas always plays at home on Thanksgiving, but that's what I'm saying. I have an opportunity to go there, like be put up.
So just damn the families. Just
So I did call my mom. I said, Rich Holiday, would you be less mad at me if I don't show up for it?
Just damn the family.
For sure. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I was like, oh, one of these I'm going to. So you tell me which one you're gonna be pissed at more so.
That's hilarious.
So, I've never been to the stadium or a game out there. I've been to Dallas, just I've never been to an actual game.
I've been to so I haven't been to too many Colts games. I've been to two. One in Philly because we played the Eagles, and one in Indy, and we played. I feel like it was the Texans a couple years ago, but it was for like a division.
Yeah.
It was like big.
Like Deshaun Watson Texans.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
they
were actually.
Yeah. And like T.Y. Hilton went off.
Yeah. T.Y. Hilton was one of those just like randomly do nothing all year and then have 72 points on a fantasy game and beat you in the championship.
Like,
yeah, and you'd be playing him that week.
And keep an eye on this move though. OBJ to the Colts.
No, you're just wishful thinking.
No, that's not wishful thinking. Listen, when you start looking that up, they're gonna tell you, nah, that's looking pretty good right now. We don't know. I might be breaking news or I might just be, talking a little too much.
I think you think that.
But I might be breaking news, and if that happens, but if that happens, the news got broke here first.
Yeah, there we go.
Cause you don't know football.
Little Adam Schefter here.
Cause you don't know football.
How about it?
Breaking news. You see what I'm saying?
Yo, stop reading Horseshoes Heroes. That's the website that's breaking this.
It's not.
Alright, I think we're off a little topic here.
No, it's funny though. Timmy, are you on the roll today, yeah?
Oh man.
Okay. Alright, cool. So let me ask you, what else? Do we have anything else on the docket for today?
I think that was it. Just little shit talk.
Alright.
Call it a day, drink a little whiskey.
So first of all, listen, everybody, we need you to like, we need you to subscribe. We need comments. We need to engage with you guys. We need to talk to you guys. You guys, first of all, I want to thank everybody who has liked this. We've had, one of our videos now, it's not going to be big in terms of the bigger scale of things, but we've had a video
for us.
We've had like a couple of videos that are around like 800 views.
How about it? Hey, we only got a few up, so.
We only got a few up, so we got to thank you guys. Because you guys have been tuning in and,
love it,
and I appreciate it. So, but keep it going forward. We still got stuff to talk about for the rest of this
off season. Let us know in the comments too. Who you think had the worst off season, the worst news? Give us the best. We can all talk some smack on Tariq over here in the Colts. That's how I'm feeling. So, yeah, we'll do it again though.
Yes, but thank you guys for tuning in, and Timmy once again, cuz you just don't know football, man.
Yeah, I think I showed you today, man. I don't really know. You're just making shit up. You're just reading literally websites called Horseshoe Heroes.
Don't be a hater. Don't be a hater. Don't be a hater.
Probably a great website. I'm gonna take a look at that.
Don't be a hater.
All right,
but
cool.
For everybody, we will see you again. Thanks for tuning in.
Peace.
We'll see you soon.